Welcome to the Editor's Note Comics Podcast.
I think that this world, it needs men that are willing to make the hard call.
Central Maine's best comics podcast, by default.
Ain't no thing like me except me.
Here are your hosts, Zach and Jared.
Maps come with me. No. When do we start?
Hey, welcome back to the mobile show.
Yeah, this is what it's like to sit behind the counter here.
This is weird and I don't like it.
Nobody's bought the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire Game Boy game?
No. I can't imagine why. Regis, baby. Regis.
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
I mean, me.
Or Mario Tennis for the Game Boy Color? M&M Mini Monsters game? What is that?
Look, I sold all of the good games already.
Apparently so. No, we're here live, 210 Water Street in Hollowell.
I mean, live for the moment. Yeah, we're in the store. Scheduling didn't really work out this week.
No, sorry. I my life is a little chaotic this week and next week. I tried.
Whatever. We're here.
We are.
Get used to it.
Well, I hope so. People have tuned in for some time now, and here we are.
But yeah, we're recording out of the store. I have no idea how the sound quality is going to be. Probably worse.
It can't be that much worse than it normally. I'm sure it's fine.
Bouncing.
Some ambiance.
Bouncing off the glass.
You worry too much.
The echoey room.
If it didn't sound bad when we were at the Comic-Con, it's not going to sound bad in here. I mean,
no.
You've got the drone of traffic. You don't have a backhoe outside tearing up the pavement. If we're lucky, there'll be like some sort of occurrence or happening in downtown Hollowell that we can report on.
Well, right there, I almost watch like 17 accidents a day there. Every dumbass tries to do a U-turn right there. I watch them all almost get in accidents, and I watch almost 17 accidents.
You should set up like a little camera or something, so if it does happen, you can record it for posterity.
Hey, dumbass. Hey, you missed your turn. Maybe just drive up a block and don't endanger everyone.
Yeah, well, you know.
That's my thought.
Do you ever like grade the people on their haircuts as they leave the salon, kitty corner from the store? Like you see them when they go in, and then you see them when they come out, and be like, "You made a good choice," or "Yeah, you made a questionable choice."
I don't pay attention to anyone.
Okay,
if they're giving me money, I don't care.
Do you have can you time your day based on what cars drive by? Because I'm sure you have a lot of repeat drivers.
No,
you're
not at all.
Yet. You're not like Bill Murray in Groundhog Day,
or Jim Carrey in
Truman Show.
Thank you. I was going to say the one where he's on TV.
Maybe the Truman Show.
Yes, we both agree what movie it is.
Yeah, I was right and you didn't know. Bicycle?
Sedan? Person jogging? I don't remember. I haven't seen the Truman Show in a while.
It's a good show. If there was an in, I would be in on it, wouldn't I? See? You might think that this is not real life. Maybe this is a show.
I feel like you couldn't legally air that show.
Why not?
Because it's like you're watching a man poo. You're watching a man be alone. I feel like you can't legally show that.
Why are you describing my life to people?
Whatever. We're not here to talk about the Truman Show. There's a buttload of news this week, so we're moving on to the news.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
It's time for the news.
Avengers Endgame is still the big story. There's a few Endgame stories.
I saw a couple of them, yes.
First and foremost, is the quickest movie to pass $2 billion. They did it in 11 days.
I wish I could make $2 billion in 11 days.
You will never make $2 billion in your entire life.
Well, you don't know that.
You won't. That's fine.
What if I did? I'm going to come back to this day. I'm going to pull up this podcast. I'm going to rub it in your little face.
I mean, you're assuming I'm still paying for hosting, which is renewing like next week. So we at least have another year of podcasts coming because I'm paying for it.
Yeah, but what are you saying? If I won $2 billion, you wouldn't want me on the show? What's to say I would want to be on the show? What's to say I wouldn't have my own podcasting network for $2 billion? You
posed this to me. You were like, if you made $1 million, would you give me something? I'm like, no, of course not. But if it was like, if you made $1 billion, would you give me something? I'm like, yeah, of course. I can't spend $1 billion. Have a few million.
Okay, so you're leaning on me to earn a couple $1 billion.
No, I'm just saying it's a tiered level. You're like, if you were a millionaire, wouldn't you give me money? I was like, no. But if I was a billionaire,
I don't think you quite understand the vast difference between $1 million and $1 billion.
That's why I would throw a couple million your way.
$1 billion is $1 million.
Yeah, that's why I give you a couple of them.
Actually, it's like no, it's more than just $1 million. Is it $1 million? I don't know. It's a lot of money.
Just an extra zero. I'd give you a couple mil if I was a billionaire.
Oh, okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
But if I was a millionaire, I won't give you shit.
Wouldn't it even be like $50?
Might buy you a pizza.
Okay, there we go.
You would have to cover tip, though.
Ooh.
But more Endgame news. The writers and the directors, they've had a split. They've split off like it's some kind of multiverse, or is it?
Okay.
The directors have been leaning heavily in interviews into the idea of the events of Endgame are all about a multiverse. But the writers say, nah, that's why we brought everything back to where it left, to keep it consistent. Captain America had to stab that back into Jane Foster somehow.
Wow. Yeah, I'm sure he did.
It doesn't, it doesn't really affect the movie at all, but yeah, there is a difference of opinion from the people who did it.
Well, I feel like that in later news stories, we'll talk about the existence of a Marvel multiverse.
I would say there is a difference between a multiverse and a split timeline.
Yes, I would say that, I think technically that is a multiverse.
I'm saying things that are drastically different versus pretty close.
Okay.
I stand by, I think it's a linear timeline that they affected, but yeah, the multiverse might be a thing, or it might not be.
Okay.
You're trusting a charlatan.
Oh, that's true. He is a liar.
I want to trust him, though. That sounds so sexy.
Doesn't it? We'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay, more Endgame news. I was like, should we jump to that? No, we shouldn't.
No. It's called a tease.
There was an actress, Catherine Langford, who was originally cast in Endgame and shot a scene that was cut.
It was?
By the way, this is a spoiler for Endgame. Jump ahead 2 minutes if you don't want to know.
Okay.
You've definitely seen it, though.
Oh, I have, yes. So I can't jump ahead.
But Catherine Langford, when Tony does the snap, because I had to snap when I did it for some reason, he was going to go into that weird afterlife world that Thanos went into, and that Hawkeye went into. But instead of, Thanos saw Gamora, but instead of seeing that, Tony was going to see his daughter Morgan, but as a 20-something-year-old.
Oh, wow.
Just go, everything is okay. You did right.
It would have been nice to have, but I don't think the movie suffered by not having it.
No. I think, I hope that's a deleted scene that they throw out there, but yeah. I understand cutting it, but at the same time, it's a nice idea.
Give Tony a little more peace and closure.
Also, bad for that actress who's just like, I'm going to be in the biggest movie ever. Oh, you sons of bitch. This was an emotional beat.
And you cut me out of it. Did you hear that the line, I am Iron Man, was a pickup?
Yeah.
Was a reshoot?
Yeah, I guess they threw out a couple of different ones, but that one...
And he didn't want to do it.
Yeah, I just listened to a podcast over the last 2 days. Not that I'm in the business of plugging other shows, because, listen to me! But this is a big enough one that who the hell cares. I was listening to Kevin Smith's Smodcast. Mm-hmm. It's 2.5 hours. I also highly recommend it. It's with the writers of Infinity War and Endgame and Captain America the Winter Soldier and Captain America the First Avenger. And they go deep on it, and it's great. But they do talk about that, how they had kind of done that line, and then they were like, that's just low-hanging fruit. And they did a few other ones, and none of them were working. And they're like, everyone likes fruit. So might as well go with that one. My favorite thing out of that, when I was listening to them, they were talking about how, this movie is mostly Captain America's and Iron Man's, and how their stories have intersected in such a way that the way to finish both of their stories was to make Iron Man more selfless and to make Captain America more self-interested. And they almost crossed each other through that way. And I was like, oh, that's beautiful. I love that.
That's nice symmetry.
I
like it.
I didn't think about that, but it's totally what that movie did.
Yeah, it totally did.
That's good storytelling.
That's great storytelling.
Are those the Endgame stories?
I think so.
There's one tangential one. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is still going to be picking up 1 year later. But Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to be picking up 1 year later. They had a sad trailer with a Linkin Park song. They're like, in the end, it doesn't even matter. Because there was a lady singing it.
I don't think that you needed to do that.
Yeah.
That was a little much.
No, it wasn't great.
You needed to stop that.
But yeah, so they're picking up 1 year later, which still could put them possibly in the middle of the snap. But the other thing that they're doing is that they're going to bring Coulson back, who they killed when they thought it was their finale, because...
They've killed him, they've brought him back.
Bad
They've killed him, they've brought him back.
So this also might be introduced with the idea of a multiverse.
More than one verse.
Oh, hey, so maybe that's a transition and a half.
It's a segue.
Gonna drive it off a cliff like the creator.
Well, go for it. Full send.
Let's get this sucker off a cliff. All right, Spider-Man Far From Home had its first trailer. Big spoiler warnings. I love they even did it up front. Like, if you haven't seen Endgame,
don't watch this trailer.
You turn around.
Yeah, because right away they tell you
Iron
something.
Man's dead.
Well,
spoilers.
By the way, yeah, now we should have.
He's so dead. Which also, I called this months ago.
We've given you a whole week to watch the movie, so if you get accidentally spoiled, I'm sorry.
I called this months ago. I'm like, gee, he seems to be doing a 180 on wanting to be Spider-Man. Whatever could make him so sad?
He doesn't seem to be doing a 180 really in this trailer. He does a little bit
in the last
much.
Trailer.
Yeah,
in the last trailer, he was a sad boy.
He was a sad, lonely Queens boy.
A Queens boy.
A Queens boy. Different than a Kingsman, which I saw that Disney's really. I saw.
We're
Disney's
not
really
there
scheduled.
yet.
Okay, sorry.
It's there.
Oh wow, it is. Yeah. Okay, look at that.
You follow the schedule.
I do what I want. I'm a rogue element.
But yeah, sad boy. But we are told there's a multiverse after the snap.
Yes, that it tore a hole in
and then
the fabric of space.
And
then
some people are like, Mysterio's lying. He can't there can't be a multiverse. But I say there probably is, but he's also probably lying.
Yeah, he's probably lying about being from another Earth.
It's probably both.
Yes, it's a healthy mix of both.
He's a man with a fishbowl for a head.
It's true. It looked awesome.
He does look cool with a fishbowl head. I love it.
Jake Gyllenhaal looks phenomenal in this.
And also, going back to that show that I was listening to with the writers, people were like, but how were all of his classmates snapped? They just went, look, everyone we didn't want to get snapped didn't get snapped. Easy as that.
Also, everybody got unsnapped.
But the problem with the high school thing is, like, half of that high school class would have lived for 5 years.
Oh, wow. Good
so
point.
everyone that they was like, who was in the last movie? Yeah, not them. It's 50-50. Guess what? Everyone Peter knew didn't get snapped.
That's really a statistical anomaly. That's highly unlikely.
Is it really, though? Just people from the high school? Like, that's not that... Because they're not
Well,
all
what about the other people in the high school?
But they're not all his friends. It's just the people that we saw in a movie. That's not that much of an anomaly. I'll roll with it.
Okay, but Peter was gone for 5 years.
So was everyone else that he knew, apparently.
All right.
Got a little fat friend. Got the girl who's Mary Jane. Got Betty Brant.
They all got snapped.
You got Flash getting punched in the nuts.
And snapped. He's having a rough go of high school. I thought high school was rough for me.
Every wrist is snapping him. In the nuts, in the life, he's just getting snapped.
The flick. Oh, that's like worse than getting... I'd rather get snapped than flicked.
Rather die than get hit in the nuts?
I guess probably not. You imagine if, like, Thanos, like, infinity flicked you?
Like Power Stone, bam, ball. In the nuts.
God. I'll need the soul gem, please.
Time Stone. Like, let's rewind this 30 seconds.
And just watch it on YouTube over and over and over again.
I'm calling it now. Downey's doing a cameo.
Oh, yeah, of course he is.
As a hologram.
Either as a hologram or maybe he's in a multiverse. Maybe they do go into the multiverse.
I mean, that'd be a way to pull out a different one, but I'm going to say in this, because...
He left a special hologram for Peter.
He's being such a sad boy that, yeah, that's how he gets that suit, because we see him doing some, like, Iron Man hologrammy stuff, and they're saying his name so much in the trailer, and that he's definitely going to be the driving force behind this. He definitely showed up for an hour to get like $1 million to film a cameo.
Well, they got it to spare. They got it to push around. So yeah,
I would almost guarantee that he's in this movie.
Yeah, I could believe it.
In fact, I'll actually guarantee it.
All right.
My firstborn is on the line.
I like it.
I'm going to say you're my firstborn.
I am not your... I'm older than you, A.
Sacrifice my firstborn if I'm mistaken.
Well, I mean, there goes Charlie or Clunk, I guess.
What else happened this week? Oh, Peter Mayhew's dead.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah, it is.
But his body was failing. It's been failing him for some time, too.
Yeah, I met him about 10 years back, just quickly at a con.
Everything I've ever heard is just such a nice, genuine... He was a nice, genuine person, and...
He was
such an iconic mainstay, and...
I got a photo signed by him that I kind of unfortunately, when you start a business, basically say goodbye to your personal items because they're all forfeit.
Personal items, personal life in general.
Yeah, all that. But I had...
I'm here to humble you today by being in your store.
I had a, one of those, 8x12 signed by him, and he was super friendly about it. But it was also a little bit sad. One, it was kind of in the interim of, like, Star Wars wasn't a thing for the moment. It was post-prequels well before this new stuff. So, everyone gets lulls at their table. Yeah. It happens.
Some more than others.
Yeah, it was a little bit sad when I met him, and that was like 10 years ago, because he signed, like, this photo, but it was shaky as all hell.
Well,
he was sick back then, and I think it was a heart attack in the end. But there was no real secret that his health had been failing for many years. He was wheelchair bound for a little while. He walked with a cane when he wasn't. Even him being in The Force Awakens a couple of years ago, there's a reason Chewbacca is sitting so much in that movie.
Oh yeah, anytime he's standing up, it wasn't him.
Yeah, it was German McJermy.
Yeah, the other guy.
I haven't had to learn his name yet.
Yes, well, now you should.
But no, good dude. Definitely a big loss. And, I saw some great stuff on Twitter I'd never seen before. So whenever, he gets replaced with, they're like, oh.
Yes.
That was a terrible one. Sometimes they're better than others. That he was speaking lines.
Oh, yeah. Have you seen any of those?
Yeah, they're great. Yeah. I've never seen that before. That was so cool.
The old man is mad.
Yeah, he's just...
That's one of the lines.
But definitely a big loss.
Yes, it is a big loss, but... Yeah, and it's another big hit. It's been a rough year for pop culture icons.
Yeah. He didn't do a ton else, but,
Didn't have to.
Yeah. I've only in the biggest franchise of all time.
Yeah,
of it.
I'm
the most biggest, lovable one.
Yeah, more lovable than Ewoks. And you love Ewoks.
Fine with them.
You love them.
It was a big jump. They're fine. I liked them a lot as a kid. As an adult, I go, well, I liked them a lot as a kid.
There you go.
More Marvel news. I don't really care that much about these, but
Then let's rip right through them. Let's chop them, pick them up, and put them down.
Now that Disney owns
everything,
a controlling interest in Hulu, aside from their own streaming service,
I heard they own a controlling interest in you.
I mean, I give them money, and then they give me things, and then I sell those things for money.
They control you. The man gets you down.
My main business comes from a mouse and a bunny.
It's true. It does.
But Hulu has announced a Ghost Rider series, continuing a spin-off out of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and also a Damien Hellstorm show. He's the son of the devil, I think. I don't remember.
Well, way to study up for the show.
There's a lot of Marvel characters out there. I think that's his deal. I think he's the son of the devil.
Yeah, I believe it.
Definitely a son of a bitch.
Yeah, well, with a name like Damien Hellstorm, I don't think he's a good guy.
But it's going to be Gabriel Luna, the guy who was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They had him in for an arc. That was one of their better seasons where they kind of broke it up into thirds. There was like the Ghost Rider third and the other two. But overall, he was good at it, so screw it. Do it. Bring him on. I'm not going to get Hulu, though, so I don't care.
Top shelf. I'm not going to get either.
Yeah, there's only so many streaming services you can pay for, and Hulu ain't happening.
I mean, you can pay for a lot of them.
I can. I won't.
Yes.
My rule, I've said my rule, you got to have 2 shows I'm interested in at least, and there's nothing that's going to bring me over the top on Hulu.
All right, there you go.
There's a couple of like, oh, that'd be interesting, but not enough to go, interesting enough to pay for.
Yeah, not $10 a month interesting.
Nah. Quentin Tarantino says that after he does Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, his Star Trek movie is still, in quotes, a very big possibility.
That Once Upon a Time in Hollywood movie looks awesome, by
it does. I love watching a family murder people.
I mean,
with swastikas on their head. You're right. Entertainment City.
Moving on. No sense of entertainment. I'm not saying it's because they have swastikas and they're killing the family. It just looks like a good Tarantino
movie.
It
does. I'm generally interested in what he does. There's been very few duds of his.
Yes.
Jackie Brown's kind of boring.
Yeah.
That one he did with Rodriguez is boring. Death Proof.
It was part of the Grindhouse, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's really boring for like 70 minutes. And then it's great.
Because he's Death Proof.
That's a really boring movie. Great car chase. I don't know if the build-up is worth the payoff, because, boy, it's like 70 boring minutes.
Sometimes you got to get through the crud to get to the good.
Just watch it on YouTube. Who cares?
All right.
But, I don't know. I'd be all about his Star Trek movie. He says the script is done, but we also heard conflicting things of, like, there's going to be the one where it's going to be Hemsworth and Pine, like daddy and son teaming up together, being Kirks. But then I think the Tarantino one was separate. And
the drag race happening on Water Street? That guy just revved up. I don't know if anyone would hear that. That was exciting.
There's a lot of cops out there, so it's a stupid idea.
That'd be cool if somebody got arrested on the show. Well, not like one of us, but like we could like watch someone get arrested.
I'd like to watch you get arrested.
Me?
I'd like to watch you cry.
You would cry too.
I'd be stoic.
You would be stoic. You would tear. You would have a tear.
Depends on what I'm getting arrested for. If it's something I didn't deserve, or if it was something I was just like, yeah, that makes sense.
No, if it's like, I think in general, if you were to get arrested for something, you would be upset with you.
I think you'd be a prison bitch.
I would. Come on, please.
You'd be a prison bitch.
Please. I am alpha. I'm alpha as alpha gets.
You're as omega as they get you.
No, you.
you're at the end of that totem pole.
Oh no, technically.
Soft boy.
Whoa, enough. I dispute this wholeheartedly. I'm not Andy Dufresne.
Go to prison in Maine.
Yeah, because prisons in Maine are like, I mean, sure, they're not pleasant. They're not like Shangri-La by any stretch of the imagination. But I would not be a prison bitch. That is erroneous and outlandish that you would even claim that. I have a power beard. You, sir, would be a power bottom.
I like how in your version, I'm very engaged.
Oh, yeah, you would be.
In mine, you're submissive. With your version, I'm just very engaged in it.
Like you said, you would own it. So, hey, new Watchmen trailer out. HBO. That looks entertaining.
I have no idea what's happening there.
I didn't have any idea what was happening in Watchmen in the first place.
I mean, you know Watchmen. You're such a big fan.
I am well versed in the classic. Yes.
You're well read on Watchmen. You read it closely and understood it.
I know cover to cover, front to back. I understand all the panel layouts and everything, the symmetry.
You were confused by a blue dick, and that threw you for the entire thing.
It really did, yeah. But I'm no prison bitch, especially to a man with a blue dick.
I don't know. I think it looks like a sequel, I guess, where everyone's inspired by Rorschach and the other heroes and all that. Maybe in their post-apocalyptic, a squid blew us up world.
I mean, there are worse ways to go out. Really, can it be a post-apocalyptic world if the apocalypse is happening? Isn't the apocalypse the end of time? Like the end of all things?
Of course. That's an entire genre.
But it's kind of an oxymoron, because if the apocalypse happens, there's nothing left.
then society is done.
Then there should
The
be
survivors
there should be nobody. Maybe
rise from the ashes.
a dystopian
Phoenix style.
dystopian future, perhaps. I could
No.
get behind the dystopian label, but
That's what a prison bitch would say.
No.
Moving on.
I disagree wholeheartedly with everybody in the room.
So because Sonic the Hedgehog, the trailer was so well received,
Was it?
no.
Exactly.
The director has come out and said that they will be changing the design of Sonic before the movie comes out in November.
It seems like it's a lot of work.
It seems like it's a lot of work. Also,
Are they going to give him braces and pants?
he never had pants. He
Well,
never had braces.
Maybe they want those things.
He never
People
had teeth before. That's one of the complaints. He has weird baby teeth.
Well, maybe he needs braces. Straighten, get those things looking good.
I'm kind of against this.
Let's just let it be. Let it roll.
Well, my whole thing is you're just emboldening a bunch of jackasses to go, hey, if we scream and complain, we'll get our way. But that's all this is doing. Sonic, it's going to be a terrible movie. The design is bad, but they didn't go, we're also going to improve all of the jokes that were no good.
No, they really weren't. There was nothing positive about any of those.
No. So I'm against the changes because I don't want to give into a screaming Twitter tirade. It's going to be a bad movie no
I'm going to
matter
tweet
what.
at you all caps for a whole weekend and see if you give me what I want.
I'll just mute you.
Even better. Oh, that's exactly what I was going for.
Prison bitch style.
Absolutely not.
Speaking of people going to prison,
Oh, this teenager in Brazil?
a teenager in Brazil went, I think, on Tinder or some kind of dating app
Okay.
and lured out a pedophile, and then he dressed up as Spider-Man and beat him with brass knuckles.
Was he the one that was wearing the sweatpants, or was that a different Spider-Man beating people up?
I think that was just Spider-Verse.
No, there was a video of somebody dressed up as Spider-Man, but they were wearing sweatpants, and they were in a fight.
I don't think these were the same.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he lured a pedophile and took video of him beating him up.
He is not the hero that Brazil wants, but he's the hero that Brazil deserves.
That's a weird story. I don't have a lot of follow-up. That's just a thing that happened this week. He's like, I'm a young girl. Come meet me here. He's like, Spider-Man?
What is he doing here?
Yeah, so...
Should have known better by that webslinger 686822 handle.
But then he gave all the messages over to the cops.
That
and
truck is
whatnot.
going faster than 25 miles an hour.
I mean, yay for catching the pedophile, but maybe let the
What if
give
the
the
pedophile
information
had like
to the
a
police.
gun or something? Yeah, like is this guy committing a citizen's arrest?
Maybe don't actually be a vigilante.
Yeah, it's probably a bad career move.
Be a vigilante, not.
Yeah.
If you find this information out, turn it over to the proper authorities instead of beating a man in a Spider-Man costume.
Because that's assault.
Yeah, this kid's not doing great.
No.
I mean, positive, but what else we got this week?
Did you talk about the Willow sequel?
A Willow sequel might be coming to Disney Plus. I was going to skip that one because there was so much news.
Well, there you go. Let's skip that.
The Batwoman pilot has been ordered over at the CW now that they're out of Arrow and everything else.
Yeah.
Whatever. I didn't watch the crossover. I don't know anything about it. But considering Gotham is going to be ending, if you need a Bat show,
Yeah.
I think Gotham already ended. I didn't watch it. But more Bat in your life if you want it.
We love the Bat life.
Oh, you're taking selfies.
I am
of
taking a
yourself.
selfie. Yeah, I want to prove to people that I am in the store. It's just I'm preserving this for posterity.
Great. And then now that the Disney-Fox merger has finally gone through, we got some rearrangement of the schedule.
Okay.
New Mutants pushed back again. A whole year. This
like,
movie's never happening.
You've already called this, and I agree wholeheartedly. If they push it back, continue to push it back a year.
This trailer came out in 2017. The trailer came out in 2017. And it's getting pushed back another year.
So that's like 3 years of pushback.
Yeah.
Not good.
Yeah, no. This movie's going to be terrible and never's going to happen. Gambit. Channing Tatum's Gambit. Off the slate.
No more Channing Tate Yum. That's what people call him.
I don't like that.
Oh, that's okay. I'm comfortable with that.
I was going to say they took a Gambit on this movie.
Ooh.
And they rolled Snake Eyes.
But he throws cards, so it'd be like they came up with like deuce high.
Joker.
They came up with too high.
If they were playing poker, it was like a 3 and a 7, and you're like, this is never going to happen.
No.
Avatar has also been pushed back yet again. I hope you wanted to wait 12 years in between sequels.
That wouldn't be the first time.
Those are definitely happening, at least.
Yeah.
Like, I have no question, but boy, like...
Jim Cameron's getting his Avatar sequels.
I'm not against them. Like, I know there's a lot of, like, people really turned on that movie. I never turned on it, but I'm also not that interested
That's
in
what
it.
they get for opening up Pandora.
I don't care about Avatar. I mean, I'm not against it. I don't hate it.
I don't see myself like climbing all over myself to go see it in the theater.
Especially after 12 years. Man, talk about getting on top of that hype.
All aboard the hype train.
All aboard the Titanic.
Going down.
All right. I think that'll do it for regular pop culture news.
All right.
From the Submariner to the Seattle Mariners, it is time to move on to Jared Sports Reports.
He's running down the middle by the 50. He's at the 30. Bare-chested. The guy is drunk, but there he goes. Oh, and they tackle him at the 40-yard line.
It's time for another Jared Sports Report.
Man, I'm almost gonna like go on hiatus with this if you continue to have these terrible segues.
I refuse, and I have so many more.
Okay, well, the Celtics are on the brink of elimination.
What?
Yes.
Since when?
Since they ran into Giannis.
Are you telling me that an inconsistent team is inconsistent?
They're consistently inconsistent, yes.
I'm done, man.
I'm telling you, they're going to win Game 6 just to toy with your emotions, which you called emotionally unfair. And I said, welcome to being a sports fan. So.
I know, they're going to win this game. And they're also going to win the next just to get destroyed in Game 7.
Yeah.
Or
maybe.
they lose by 23. At the time of recording, we don't know yet, but...
They're like the first team in NBA history to like win their first 5 playoff games and then immediately lose the next 3.
I'm done. I watched...
I hope they get to a Game 7 to just to make you a nervous mess of a human being. More so than you already are.
Well, there's a chance of Philly getting there, and if Philly gets there, then that'd be a wash. That's no problem, but it's probably going to be Toronto, and trying to get past... It's not going to happen.
You've really jumped to the denial state, or are you in acceptance?
I'm in acceptance.
You're in acceptance right now.
At this point, I'm ready to move on from whatever this team is and to do something different.
No, I feel like you're in the anger state right now. Maybe you'll come back to anger. Maybe you're cycling through your grief process.
I don't get to
not healthy.
I get disappointment. I get a lot of disappointment.
I don't like when people are disappointed. I'd much rather you be angry than disappointed.
But I mean, I've watched this whole season. It's been up and down and weird, and sometimes there's a plane ride where Kyrie sings and they're all back together, and then sometimes they're walking on eggshells and they're
it's kind of like a bad season of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah. Oh God, is it season 2 and 3 again? Unwatchable.
But you can't turn away.
I'm stuck. Yeah, I'm just ready for it to be done at this point.
Yeah, probably.
And who knows what's happening, because people are still throwing out like what all the rumors and all the possibilities. The reality is no one knows anything, and
the truth of the matter is though the Boston Bruins have moved on to the Eastern Conference Finals 26 times in 19 years, I believe. Boston teams have been in the conference finals. Yeah. So
I like watching hockey.
Yeah, I mean, well, now you've got hockey to watch because there will be no more basketball soon. You can just hop on the bandwagon.
At this point, I'm like, someone beat Golden State. That's my team.
Oh, you've turned into one of those people.
I don't care who does it. I just want someone to knock them down.
That's fair.
I'm not going to cheer for them next year. Just I want in the immediate future.
Outside of that, there's not much in the world of sports to report.
There was a horse thing.
Oh yeah, Country Store won. A
disqualification.
Yeah, there's a disqualification against whatever that horse's name was.
Like Maximum Security.
Yes, Maximum Security. He blocked another horse. So it created kind of it was illegal, I guess. You can't do that in horse racing. You can't just bump the other horse out of the way.
I know nothing about horse racing.
I know
literally nothing.
I know about one paper width more than you know.
Great.
Yeah.
To be fair, that's a lot more than I know.
If your horse racing knowledge was a 0, mine's like a 1.5.
If you know something, it's more than me.
I know win, place, and show is first, second, and third.
I know there's a secretariat.
Yeah, he was really good.
Great. End of my knowledge.
Yeah, and if you're a really good horse and you win a lot of races, you just get to go and
get shot.
No, you don't. Actually, you just go and you get you put out the studs, so you get to have sex the whole rest of your life.
Oh.
And by sex, I mean they bring out this giant semen collection device and rub you down.
Oh.
A lot to unpack there. I'm glad that we spent some time unpacking it, but now it's time to go into another sports-related item in Jared's Reading Corner.
Oh, that's true. Time for the theme.
It's Jared's Reading Corner.
Did you know that it is the basketball playoffs, the NBA playoffs?
Not for much longer for the Celtics.
There are still other teams.
Okay.
Not for the team we're going to be talking about either.
Okay, no.
Because they suck.
They sucked then and they suck now.
Did you know that one time, you do know.
I do know,
This is a fake story because...
It's a bad rhetorical question because you gave me the book. Yes, I do know that one time Carmelo Anthony was in a Ninja Turtle story.
You're right.
I know I'm right.
What team is he on right now?
What team is he on?
None. He's on no team.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to have to go to a foreign market because no one wants him.
Because he turned into a damn mutant. That's what happened.
I think the story might actually be the catalyst to what happened to Carmelo Anthony.
I think it is the true Hollywood story of the fall of Carmelo Anthony.
This is only a couple of years old, too. Like, he used to be hot. He was a hot commodity. He was a popular player in New York, and every New York team sucks.
Yeah.
At least in basketball.
Yeah, currently.
Yes, I'm saying currently.
The
You'd
Nets,
be like, I don't...
the Nets aren't good. No, you're right. And the Knicks aren't good.
End of...
If the Globetrotters are in town, they're the best team in New York.
Is that where they're from?
Well, they're the Harlem Globetrotters.
Oh, I might cut that.
Nope, leave it in. That's...
I've seen them play. It was a good time.
Yeah, but they are the Harlem Globetrotters.
I suppose.
Anyway.
Whatever. So this one time, the Ninja Turtles hanging out. And by the way, this is a random one-shot. It didn't make a lot of sense.
Basically, still doesn't make a lot of sense.
Whenever there's a TV show, there's usually a spin-off book.
Yeah.
Except for that live-action one that no one talks about. Don't watch it. It's not good. But compared to the 90s, there was the TV show, which is unwatchable as an adult. It's a terrible show. And they had a spin-off comic, and the comic is still regarded fairly positively. It was Ninja Turtles Adventures. And then there was a show in 2012.
Amazing Adventures.
Yeah, they had 2 different books. I think it was like New Animated Adventures and then Amazing Adventures. They're fine.
Not your run-of-the-mill adventures. No. Amazing Adventures.
No one's ever going to remember these books. They're mediocre at best.
Shut your mouth when you're talking to him, and they're Amazing Adventures.
But then there was a random one-shot of the Ninja Turtles meet Carmelo Anthony.
And this was riveting and exciting and intriguing for all of no seconds.
I was going to say, what book were you reading?
Not
just because
that
it's
one.
the playoffs. Michelangelo, apparently an NBA fan.
Huge. He's a member of the Carmelo Anthony fan club with his taped up ID.
Laminated, baby.
I mean, it's your basic run-of-the-mill one-shot, bring in a celebrity and make them be part of the world. Just like when Charles Barkley played one-on-one with Godzilla. They had to make Charles Barkley big by doing whatever happened to Godzilla to him. So.
Take 1,000,000 layups in the Grand Canyon or whatever that was.
So Baxter Stockman is creating this mutagen for Shredder to be able to control the mind of a new mutant.
Because apparently all of his mutants are...
Yeah, because even
they uprise a little bit.
Shredder even craps on the premise of this, like, well, I don't have enough soldiers, I need another one.
I mean, mine aren't that good, but yeah, whatever.
And of course, silly Baxter Stockman drops a candy bar in there. Oop, just like in was the second Ninja Turtles movie. Oh, drop some stuff in there. Oopsie-doo.
Maybe it's a reference.
It could be. Yeah. See, I picked up on that.
I don't know. It's not a very good comic.
So the Turtles are going to a game. They somehow go and watch a game at Madison Square Garden. At least I think it's Madison Square Garden, but I'm not really sure. But Madison Square Garden didn't have the colors on the floor were that of like the Hornets. They had the purple on in the key.
Yeah, but they can change the floor out. And as someone who's been to Madison Square Garden many a time.
You're really pushing the suspension of disbelief here. Maybe they were at the Barclays Center.
So I'm sorry. So your issue is the colors on the floor, not the
one of many
mutants.
issues. Okay, let's pump the brakes here. It's not just one issue. It's one of many issues.
I've been to Madison Square Garden many a time.
That's more than I've been.
Yeah, things happen there.
I've been outside of it.
I've seen shows there.
I'm aware that things happen at Madison Square Garden. I didn't think.
Good for you.
I wasn't. Thank you for explaining to me what Madison Square Garden is. It's a venue for activity.
That's why I was there. Activity.
Yes, and entertainment. But anyway, the Turtles are leaving, and Carmelo Anthony is leaving, and he gets hunted down by Bebop and Rocksteady, and he gets abducted.
For some reason, why do they pick him?
I mean, he's a well-known commodity. They wanted to, as I said, we drafted him, and slam runs and things like that, making really poor sports jokes.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Splinter, he's a baller.
He is.
Yeah.
He knows how to throw a trick shot. He should be on those Harlem Globetrotters. I've heard so much about.
Well, the Turtles are also from New York, so maybe he could be.
I don't know what borough they're supposed to be from.
All 5.
Great.
They just the sewer is its own borough. It's the 6th borough of New York, the sewer. So anyway, they force feed him this mutagen
chocolate covered
mix. Hey, if you're gonna have to drink crappy stuff, at least make it chocolate flavored. So he turns into some sort of mutant, and the Turtles are able to flip the switch on him. But he was
some kind of armadillo.
Carmelo Anthony. Yeah.
Carmadillo Anthony himself.
Yeah, I Carmadillo'd my way right out of it. I shut that right down.
The design is so stupid. He has like gigantic basketball shoulder pads.
Not just the design was stupid. The whole concept, dumb with a capital D. And normally I dig into like some of this weird stuff when we talk about it, but my demeanor right now is like, if it sucks, I don't want to deal with it. And this, I wouldn't say it sucked, but I wouldn't say it was good.
I'd say it sucks.
I would say it's somewhere between mediocre and not good and bad.
Because sometimes it's like the so bad it's good, but this one is just straight up bad.
Yeah, but Mello's getting money because his likeness, he's getting like probably a nickel every time somebody turns a page on it.
I'm not giving him anything.
So then never open the book again.
Play for a foreign market already. No one wants you.
So the turtles are able to flip him onto their side, and then...
But that's the stupidest part. I'm not sure what the stupidest part is.
The part where he becomes a mutant?
So, Carmelo Anthony.
Yes.
He starts to attack the turtles, and then because Shredder's like, oh, he has to obey every one of my commands, and they just goes, no, I don't. And that's it. He just doesn't have to obey his commands.
I wish it were that easy.
So then...
He's a free thinker.
Rocksteady then shoots him with a rocket launcher.
No, he tries to, but he gets run over by a van. Raphael commits vehicular homicide.
He still shoots him with a rocket launcher.
Aggravated assault. It's aggravated assault because they're not dead. He's used a weapon.
Carmelo Anthony is shot with a rocket launcher, goes into the Hudson, and goes, not a mutant anymore.
What does that say about...
What the hell does that mean?
If you go into the Hudson to clean yourself up, you're in deep trouble.
I guess if you want to then not be a mutant. If you want to get shot into the Hudson. A rocket launcher.
But is he really cured of his mutantism because his hand
Well, he says he is, but then he goes into a car to get taken away.
Yeah, a police car.
The battle is done.
The battle tore up a good part of the neighborhood, too. That's probably why he doesn't play anymore. His hand's all mutated. He can't possess the ball.
But then he's in the car. They're like, are you okay, sir? He's like, and then his hand turns back into Carmelo Anthony's. He's like, I don't know. And that's why you got traded to Houston, and then that's why you got your ass sacked.
Yeah, this is like the reverse NBA Jam.
He had a big head.
Yeah, so, I mean, you'd get it if you got Amazing Adventures Volume 4 for free, but don't go seeking it out on its own. That'd be my recommendation.
Yeah, there are, as far as I can tell, no good sports comics. I've yet to find one.
Well, keep looking.
We've done a couple, but I've yet to find a good one. To be fair, they're all entertaining.
Maybe I should go on a journey to find the best sports comic of all time.
Someone will probably say it's NFL Super Pro, and I will say to that, no.
That's personal foul, unnecessary roughness on my eyes, ears, and general body.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't bother looking up the numbers. I don't know how this did. I don't think anyone cared.
No, it was not. It was eh.
I don't know if Carmelo Anthony cared.
No, probably not.
I think he might have had like Ninja Turtles shoes or something. Like I think like he's a fan, and that's why this happened, or he says he is, and who knows the truth.
I don't know the truth. The Shadow knows, though.
I didn't bother looking.
We didn't know the truth. He just knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men.
This is crap, but yeah, I guess watch the NBA playoffs.
Yeah.
Or no, who cares?
There you go.
But Carmelo Anthony.
It's a strange, laborious tie-in to this week's topic.
You also can't find him on any North American team, so.
But you can find him in Amazing Adventures Volume 4.
Great.
All right, from there, it's time for Letters to the Editors.
Damn right.
It is. All right, what do you got?
Let the theme play.
The theme play, you edit the theme in.
I gotta have a space. This is the space.
Now for my favorite part of the show. What'd that say? Talk to the audience? Oh, God, this is always death.
Here's another one of your Letters to the Editors.
You know what we got?
What?
Summer is upon us.
Is it really? Just because the sun is out does not mean summer is upon us in any way,
Actually,
shape, or form.
I'd like you to take out your phone. It's a rarity, I know, because usually I say stay off your phone.
Oh, yeah.
You teenage girl.
Maybe if you entertained me once in a while.
But I would like you to look up Marvel swimsuit specials.
What? Marvel swimsuit special. Read comic online. I just want images right here. Right, we got what? Whoa! What the? Big fun on Monster Island. Take a Wakanda wild. This seems very
sexy.
Seems
very sexy.
Can we talk about the Punisher?
Yeah, he's covered.
Barely. He's got.
I mean, there's plenty of these. If you want to know what the Marvel characters' balls look like, this is the place to check them out.
Okay, I'm gonna go with. Is that Colossus? Oh yeah, that seems very.
Right.
Colossus is getting. He's wearing Daisy Duke jean shorts and he's getting water poured on him. He's metallic. That seems very
rust appropriate.
Yeah, it does not seem like it's going to help in any way.
But
shape,
the question
or form.
is,
it seems very anti rust proofing.
Marvel had swimsuit.
Yeah.
Swimsuit specials from 91 to 95. Is it time to bring back the Marvel swimsuit special?
The answer is an overwhelming, resounding no.
Of course, yes.
No.
Why not?
I don't see the need. Why? Are you doing this because Tyra Banks just announced she's going to be in the next Sports Illustrated swimsuit?
No, we got to ask this because it's getting warmer.
Oh no, well no, that was news. That's news. Oh, that news came out today. Tyra Banks is.
We didn't get this letter today.
Okay, well Tyra Banks is going to be in the next swimsuit edition.
Great, good timing then. Not intentional timing.
No, I'm going to say no. No.
Don't you want to know what kind of manscaping Wolverine does?
No, I imagine he does I mean, he does probably very little or very much.
There's a lot of other.
There's no in between for him.
There's
He's
a
got
lot of
those claws. He can kind of.
He could do it himself.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of smooth boys in comics. No chest hair. Don't you want to know what they're about?
No, I don't. Not even close. There's a disturbing trend happening in the back end of the last 2 weeks' shows.
I like how the Punisher has this Punisher Speedo.
He's got a Punisher codpiece on there, just a big skull.
Well,
no, I don't want.
It's
no,
for modesty.
There's no need. No, I think it had its time. It ran its course, but I don't think
The
we need to bring it
90s?
back. Yeah, exactly. It's very 90s. I'll give it that. But
The worst decade.
it's 20 years ago. It's not the worst decade. It just wasn't the best
Is it?
decade. Name for me a worse decade than that since you've been alive than the 90s.
I was going to name a worst decade. I was probably going to say the 40s.
No, but like, you've been alive in the 80s.
The worst decade since we've been alive, the 90s is the worst one.
No.
What good, mostly for entertainment, nothing good came out of the 90s. The Simpsons and Seinfeld and
New
end
Metal.
of the list. So definitely
Blade.
end of, nope, still bad. People like to pretend that's good. It's not.
The Star Wars prequels?
I mean, there's only one of them in 99, but yes, still bad.
Lord of the Rings?
That was 2001.
Was that the first one?
Yes.
Oh, but they were filming it in the 90s.
It still didn't come out.
Whatever.
No, the 90s are the worst. But this is so stupid. This is so dumb. I would love to see a return.
The internet. We got the internet in the 90s. Like the new internet.
Was Windows 95 that good?
I mean, it's better than Windows 3.1.
I didn't have that.
Oh.
My earliest was 95.
Oh, there you go.
I'm the Gateway Computer.
Ooh.
Is that still a company? Not looking it up.
I think they got bought out by Hewlett Packard.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's that.
I say bring back the Marvel Swimsuit special.
I say no.
See everyone in Speedos.
I don't think you need to.
But what about all of the ladies of the Marvel Universe under a waterfall?
They don't need to be under a waterfall.
In bikinis.
Let them be strong, powerful, independent women that don't need to.
You can be a strong, powerful, independent woman under a waterfall. Those things are not mutually exclusive.
I'm not saying that they are. I'm just saying I don't see the need to have the swimsuit edition. I'm going to say no. Point, counterpoint.
If you got it, flaunt it, baby.
And you don't got it, so I'm glad you're not flaunting it.
All right, is that going to do it? I say bring back the Marvel Swimsuit edition.
I say I don't think we need to. We are going to agree to disagree. But we can all agree. Oh, look at that. There's the paper crunch. Are you going to get it in your trash? Oh, you hit me in the face. I'm going to leave that right down there. Okay? Someone's going to come in and try and buy that Avengers book and not know how much it costs because it's covering it up. Anyway. I
got things to do.
You do have things to do. Please support us. Go to patreon.com/editorsnotecomics. And for $1 a month, you can support the show. Get this show a day early when we record it on time. And plus other podcasts, Patreon exclusive podcasts, I should say. Spoiler and spoiler-free reviews of Buffy and Angel and Firefly.
And there's another one up there right now that won't be released for a little while later.
Oh, so even more special. Even more special. So there's that $5 Duke or Duchess of the podcast. Get yourself recognized by our good friend Sound Guy, who was on the show last week, Josh. Plus, you can visit the store at 210 Water Street in Hollowell, where there's always great things. Start up a pull list with Zach. You can visit him online, editorsnotecomics.com, on the Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitter, the Snapchat, the Tinder.
Definitely not those last two.
Oh, no Snapchat or Tinder?
Should I do a Tinder for the store? Just swipe right on everything like, come by.
You know what? Why not?
Do it within a 10-mile radius.
Try it. Yes. Like a prison bitch. Yes. So there you go. Check all that out for Zach.
And you're on Twitter.
At Junior Rich.
We'll be back next week. Did you know it's the NBA playoffs?
I heard something about that.
Well, it's going to get a lot worse.
Oh, boy. Are you going to spiral into some sort of uncontrollable depression when the Celtics get knocked out?
Nah, it'll be fine.
What are we watching?
Fine. Oh, we are watching. You're correct.
Space Jam?
No.
Damn it.
It has nothing to do with comics.
Oh. What are we watching?
Shaq Diesel, baby.
Son of a bitch.
It's time to do Steel.
Screw that. I can't believe it.
All right, we'll be back.
You will. I won't.